Now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PUCL Podcast.
It's PUCL! PUCL! It's PUCL! PUCL! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PUCL! PUCL.
And welcome to the 516th episode of the PUCL Podcast. I am your host and evening Thatch, here today with my spoopy co-host, because I don't get to be on the Halloween episode. We have none other than R.Sigma.
Hello.
And SublimeManic.
Ooh, hello.
Ooh. We're here to talk to you about some Pokemon, because we are the PUCL Podcast. PUCL, that was a car horn. PUCL, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League. A nonsensical name we came up with in 2007. We talk everything here Pokemon, from the video game to the trading card game to everything in between. And we're here to talk more Pokemon today. It's going to be a good time. I'm excited. We're all excited. Everybody's excited. On that note, though, I mean, Sublime, it's been a really long time since you were on an episode.
So long. Like, the number of hours. So many. Almost
exceeds like 80. And... yeah, I don't know. I was going to ask you what you've been up to lately, but I don't think you have much to talk about, honestly.
Just living through the best month of the year.
Yeah. Well, what about you, Sigma? It's been a hot minute since you were there. What have you been up to?
I've been playing some Expanded on Trading Card Online before it dies.
Before it disappears?
Yeah, any week now. Any week now it could go away. We don't know.
It'll just go away, no warning.
I assume they're going to give us like at least a week warning before it comes, so
I hope so.
But, well, I feel like we might know next Monday because they update the ladder.
Yeah.
That goes every 3 weeks, and I don't know if it'll last another 3 weeks, so we'll see.
We will see indeed. I'm curious to see how that goes. This transition is going to be awful. I don't know what as soon as we found out what TCG Live was, I'm just like, okay, so this is just a move because I don't want to keep paying a third party to keep doing this.
I mean, Direwolf Games is okay, but I mean, the client needed updated.
The client did need updated, but I don't know that it's getting updated. You know what I mean?
Kind of. It's on mobile, though.
That's true. At least it's on mobile.
That's what I care about.
And not just iPad. No, they needed that desperately. I can't believe it took them this long to get it on mobile.
Very that.
Like, that's insane to me that it hasn't been on mobile this entire time.
I think it should be available on the Switch, too.
It should be available on the Switch, but it's not going to be.
No.
I mean, after Yu-Gi-Oh! Announced that its new client is going to the Switch, it's like, Pokemon should be there, too.
Wait, Yu-Gi-Oh's client's going to the Switch?
Right? Master Duels is going to the Switch.
I hate this. So it's like, I hate this.
Pokemon should follow.
This timeline. I just always feel like Nintendo is always something like 2 steps behind everybody else, because they'll quote unquote catch up and then immediately be like, they'll just be like, yeah, we're on to the next thing already. I would looking at like their online services and everything, because if you look at the Nintendo online services, which are kind of a joke at this moment, because
well, that depends. How much money do you want to spend for it to be a joke?
It can be a very expensive joke, depending on whether or not you really want to play Ocarina of Time.
Oh my god, I really want to play Paper Mario, but it's not coming out at the release, so I'm good for now. Now. I have fortitude.
It's not too bad if you make a family.
That's true.
If you're not in a family, if you're getting the individual plan, I'm sorry for you.
So to be fair, I thought the $20 a year was super cheap for the Nintendo Online to begin with.
Oh, $20 is fine.
Agree. Reasonable. Very reasonable.
Oh, well, especially because we found out that they're still like utilizing peer-to-peer connections for a lot of things, which is absolutely stupid. They should have a dedicated server for at least something like Smash Brothers.
Splatoon, Smash Bros, maybe even Pokemon.
Pokemon probably should. Honestly, Pokemon should probably have servers. Just because of how many people play it. Like, we have some of the numbers for, like, the number of people that reach Masters every year, or every month. So, like, there's a sizable number of people still playing Pokemon at that level.
Mm-hmm. It's declining, but we'll see.
It's definitely declining. I think And they could resurrect it if they just add in the Pokemon from Legends. Like, they could resurrect those numbers a little bit.
It would do well for it. I definitely agree on that.
I think it would. If they got rid of Timer, they'd see the number go up too, I think, honestly.
Well, you wouldn't see Masters numbers going up, but more people would be playing it.
I think you might see Masters numbers go up. And my explanation for that and my reasoning is the following. You just have more people playing on cart in general.
That's fair.
And I think more people would start playing VGC. Well, maybe not start playing VGC. You'd have more people playing like BSS and VGC just to like futz around on the cart.
It feels real awkward that Sword and Shield is around for another year, maybe more.
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Like,
it
feels like it should be out to past year, like next year, hopefully, but
Probably.
I don't know.
Particular PokeTuber says it won't be, or not PokeTuber, Twitter personality.
I mean, I believe something may be up next year with how Pokemon Legends Arceus is well before Pokemon Day, but we'll see.
In January? Yeah.
Exactly. A January release is not the one.
Like, I've thought that since they announced the release date. It's like, why is that not in February near Pokemon Day?
Absolutely.
Why?
Sword and Shield, I just feel like was a really bad start into the Switch.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it was just a bad misstep into the Switch for a lot of reasons, aside from Dexit as well.
But that's one of them.
I think something like, I don't know, like if they would have kept Timer, I think it would be less of an issue. Like if the Timer wouldn't have become as big of an issue as it has been, I think more people would have played and like stayed on and kept doing things. I know for a fact that's I can count at least like 6-7 people that are on our staff that have that opinion. So I can imagine that's a big thing that I don't know. If Gen 9 does happen, just fix the Timer.
I'm hoping that it was a stepping stone and they've learned and are going to make a good game.
I don't know. I would really like Gen 9 2023. I'm telling you that much.
We'll see.
I don't know how many teams they have, and they're also now situated in the same building as Nintendo, so they might be getting support from there too. We'll see. My
biggest concern for that, because like what you mentioned, the teams from a development standpoint, is we don't actually know who the director of Legends Arceus is. Like, we don't know. They haven't announced it, which is somewhat worrying for a number of reasons. Like, one, is it just somebody we don't know and shouldn't expect?
Mm-hmm.
Or is it somebody that's just like, oh, he did something bad once and we shouldn't do that again?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to know.
He doesn't want his name out there so they can just attack him on Twitter.
Honestly, that might be part of it. I think Legends is like one of the bright spots in Pokemon right now.
I think it's a bright spot, but the way the internet was attacking it when it was first announced, like...
Oh, not even just then, just now too. Like, if you look at the people that are complaining that it's not like completely open world and it's Monster Hunter style open world.
I think that's fine.
Right?
I'm like, oh, so what?
Like,
right?
That's perfectly fine. I have no issues with that.
I don't need Breath of the Wild. I'm okay. Like, Breath of the Wild Pokemon's a little extreme, guys. I am 100% okay with this.
I don't think that wouldn't be a good thing, but I think it's fine that this isn't what that is.
Yeah, like, it's fine.
I think it makes sense, especially with what the game is supposed to be, because Pokemon in general usually needs to be semi-linear. Like, at minimum, it needs to be semi-linear, and this helps it be semi-linear.
Yeah.
Because you probably have to unlock areas and everything.
You got, 5 or 6 areas that you'll get to go to. It's fine. I think that's fine.
Exactly.
You don't need to go to the last area immediately. That's silly.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely agree. I think that's one of the... I don't know. I think Legends Arceus is very, very good, though. Like, I don't understand why there could be any hate for it. It's something different. If you're not into it, don't buy it. That's fine.
I mean, like, exactly. Like, if you're not into it, like, okay, you still have your regular line Pokemon game, so I don't see the issue.
Oh, that's 100% why they made BDSP.
Like, you're still getting your annual release of the same thing you've had the last 10 years, so why are you upset that there's another option?
I really like the annual not annual release. I like getting the same thing over and over again, and it makes me a horrible person.
Right, and that's fine. And they still have that is the thing.
I know.
So, you still have what you ordered. Just because the menu expanded doesn't mean you can't get your favorite meal. Oh,
BDSP is right there.
It's right there. Yep. Exactly.
2 months before, right there. Like, it's fine.
We talked about it last week, but I'm still super interested to see what the sales numbers of both these games are going to look like. Like April 30th, 2022. That is like the day I am waiting for because that's the one that you're going to see all the sales numbers for both BDSP and Legends.
Yeah. Like early May, late April, one of the two. They've been pushing them back lately. It's annoying.
That's fine. That's fine. Either way, around that time, I'm going to be extremely excited just to see those numbers, because I want to see if like Sword and Shield has hurt the legacy at all, or if it's helped it. Mm-hmm. Because my opinion's always been, if Sword and Shield is actually bad, which I don't think it is an entirely bad game. It's still a good game. Like, Pokemon games are inherently good.
I think it's fine. It is.
Yeah.
Fine.
I just want to know. I want to know if like that whole debacle and like how the community erupted has actually affected things, or if it's just all internal to the community, because I'm so ingrained in it, right? Thatch is so ingrained in it that I can't tell the difference between like general excitement for Pokemon or general disappointment with Pokemon, or if it's just like a very small portion of the community shouting at it.
Yeah, we would not be able to get an unbiased perspective.
And that's what I want to see. I want the unbiased perspective, which is the sales numbers. I mean, Sword and Shield have done incredibly well.
I also don't know if whether they do good or not will reflect on if it's the result of how Sword and Shield were received, because these are both very different games from Sword and Shield in notable ways.
Maybe it's not Sword and Shield that I'm worried about. It's just the direction of TPCI that I'm worried about. Because I don't know how it's sustainable, like releasing BDSP with just BDSP or with just Diamond and Pearl Pokemon, like Pokemon up to Diamond and Pearl. How successful that could really be.
I think it's fine. I don't know if it's a $60 fine, but I think it's fine.
You see that reaction that you just said? I think it's fine. That's what worries me, right? Like,
my thing is I'd prefer like a virtual console kind of re-release. Like, just fix the old games to run on Switch and figure out how to fix the DS screen issue. Yeah. But that's where I'm at with it. It's like
that's fine.
I would like a virtual console kind of style thing, but we'll see.
Let's leave it there before we get into it too much.
Yeah, that sounds like a good place to pick up later. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll segue into that in something like 20 or 30 minutes. So on that note, we're going to kick it on over to the news. So let's cue that epic music.
Town Radio Tower. This just in.
And welcome to the news. There's no news. Maybe there's some news. We're recording on Wednesday instead of on Saturday because Thatch will be on an airplane. So there's trailers tomorrow, probably.
We're just giving the next week that they record more to work with.
Well, they're going to be doing like a Pokemon fan game thing.
Yeah, they have a fan game next week. So
they're not covering the news.
Nope. I'll get to do that when I come back.
Well, then we're just saving 2 weeks from now for there to be lots of news.
Yeah. All right. So, in the news that's happening right now, the Halloween event in Pokemon Unite has finally started. It's added Greedent as well as a playable character. You can actually unlock it during the event if you get enough pumpkins. I don't know how to get enough pumpkins. I do not know the answer.
Login bonuses are a lot of them. Playing with friends, I think, is a lot of them.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so. There's also a price of a video game Lucario costume.
Yeah, just $40 for your costume.
The Zoroark one is super cheap. I'm a fan of that one. It's like $1. So
the Lucario one's at least the cool one. Like, it's the one from like the movie, which is really nice. Yeah. Kind of from the movie.
It's inspired by the movie, and
I mean, they use that one actually all the time in Japan. When I went to Japan,
I know there's a more accurate one in like a production line that they did with a Zoroark and a little vest too.
So because last time I went to Japan, it was in October, so it was right around that spoopy season, and so they did they actually like gave out like free art if you went to Pokemon Center. For that with that Lucario on it and stuff like that. So I have some of it. Which is actually really cool.
I like the Zor. They put the Zoroark in, and they're like, "Here, it's on sale immediately. It's like $1." It's like, oh, okay,
it's not bad.
That is a reasonable price for a costume.
Yeah, that's not bad. All right, well, move on then. Whoever's green.
I think that's me. So this week, to celebrate 25 years of the TCG, which, wow, I didn't expect the TCG to have started 6 months after the games came out.
I think it did. I think it, well, they, like, when Pokemon dropped, they were, like, pushing it hard, especially in Japan.
Yeah. I was shocked. I expected it to have been, like, a year after, maybe. I don't
know. That's how, like, a lot of things start in Japan, though, right? Like, they just start TCGs for everything, and then they just see what sticks.
Yeah, so that's exciting. But anyways, they announced a new type of card for our Pokemon TCG. They're essentially like spiritual successors to VMAX cards, but since Dynamax isn't around anymore, hey, they're only worth 2 prizes, and they give you an ability kind of like a GX attack that you can only use once a game. They showed it off on Arceus.
That's interesting that they're doing that. I wonder if that means that maybe we're not getting Gen 9 as soon as we thought, because they're just like, hey, VMAX is no longer as cool.
I mean, tag teams only lasted a year, so.
They usually just pick a new mechanic every year.
Prism Star only lasted a year. Like,
yeah, it's always like, what's the mechanic we're adding this year?
Yeah, they like to do like these year-long mechanics, so it's like.
I'm not a fan now. I just don't want Gen 9 yet. I want them to take their time.
It tells us nothing. It's sad.
Yeah. Oh, and it gets a GX type attack too?
No, it's an ability instead of an attack.
Oh, that's still cool.
You can use 1 V-Star ability per game. So
I'm into it though. I'm into it.
Yeah, the first one's basically a 0 cost 2-card computer search, so.
Yeah,
that's cool.
They're good.
All right, well, Sublime, get us the next one.
For sure. A new Pokemon has been teased, Ookily Spookily, for Legends Arceus. It sounds similar in design to Vulpix or Growlithe, and it's white with a fluffy neck and red-tipped tail, apparently.
Yeah.
Y'all saw.
It was a cool little teaser, though, that they just randomly dropped.
Yeah, I really appreciated how they went about, making it actually kind of interesting and exciting. Reminded me of when people stared at a forest for 24 hours.
Yeah, except it was better because it was only a minute.
But, not. But, they're trying something different to announce something, and I'm here for that.
That's good. I like that one. But
Make reveals exciting. Make reveals exciting again,
Exactly. The only thing I wish they would do, and maybe this is just because Legends Arceus is coming out in January, is I wish there would be, they would have been a bit more frequent between the months of, February and August.
Yeah.
I wish there would have, as much as people poop on the Sun and Moon release cycle, I still appreciated having a video almost every 2 weeks.
Even just letting us know that new regionals were coming to the game.
Yeah.
Back in June when E3 happened. That
Right.
would have gone a long way.
All you would have to do is show Hisuian and Growlithe and nothing else.
Growlithe or Braviary, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
You didn't have to show us Basculegion yet. We just wanted a little bite. Nibble.
Yeah, you didn't show us a new Pokemon or anything. I think I don't know. I'm very excited for this. I think it's really cool that they took the risk of showing off new stuff in a not main series-esque game. Or by that, I mean one with the normal mechanics of a Pokemon game, right?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. And
I appreciate it.
They're compatible with Sword and Shield relatively quickly.
I hope so. I really hope so. I want to see people use Basculegion in VGC.
I hope we get that update. I want that.
Yeah, I'm hopeful, but I'm not.
I'm more hopeful. I'm more hopeful because of Basculegion and Weird Ear and stuff. That that's 100% the only reason I am more hopeful is because of that.
My main issue is the best Pokemon that they've shown has probably been Braviary because Braviary was already good.
Yeah, well, we don't know the stats for something like Weird Ear or for Basculegion either yet, so.
Yeah,
we've got that going.
We'll
and
see.
I mean, we're not going to know it when you play Legends Arceus, unless there's some conversion calculator that they use, because the stats are completely different.
Mm-hmm.
We'll probably be able to figure out over Pokemon that we do have the stats for.
Well, yeah. Theoretically, it's not just some random thing that they tailored each Pokemon for, but rather some kind of conversion, which I think they'd have to do anyway, so it's just super easy to send them to home, because in home they're going to get converted to regular Pokemon, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's just something to think about, because I don't know if they're going to let you pull Pokemon from home to take them to Legends Arceus, or if you're just going to be able to dump Pokemon from Legends Arceus into home.
Yeah, I was shocked when they revealed that there's a trading feature in Legends Arceus, because I didn't even expect that. So
I expect it, because I imagine there's going to be some trade evolutions.
I mean, there are, but I just figured we were just going to give them new methods of evolution. Like,
no, that's bold.
Electabuzz.
Don't think of it. They did that once. That was the one gimmick they did, and that was it. Okay.
I thought we were going to go full single player and just give it ways of evolving.
All right. So I think this is some of the more exciting news that dropped this week is in video game battling news that there are regionals, international challenge, and international challenges announced for in-person competition this year. And that blows my mind. So the first one is going to be March 18th to March 20th, 2022, Salt Lake City, Utah. It's going to have both the VGC and the TCG there. March 25th and through 27th in Orlando, Florida. VGC, TCG, and Pokemon Go, which is... I still don't get how you can pull that off, but I guess it's going to get people to show up, probably.
Good luck being in the convention hall trying to play that.
Right? Oh my gosh, could you imagine the signal? That's going to be horrible. And May 6th through 8th in Indianapolis, Indiana. That's actually a nice convention center. They're going to be doing VGC and TCG there in, oh my gosh, I'm going to mess this up. Somewhere in New Jersey called Secaucus.
Sure.
New Jersey. They're going to have VGC and TCG. May 27th through 29th, Vancouver, Canada. VGC, TCG, and Go. June 17th to 19th, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. VGC, TCG, and Go. There is going to be a European International Championship in Frankfurt at the end of April. And the North American International Championship is going to be in Columbus at the end of June. So keep your eyes out for that, I guess. And let's hope that the Zeta variant doesn't get us by then. We'll see. March is a long time.
There's a couple European ones I didn't put into, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm glad they didn't do, like, I don't know. I'm glad they really didn't be like, oh, yes, January is when that starts. March feels like a good time to be like, yeah, maybe this could happen.
Yeah,
Although I wish know about Orlando.
I wish they would have lowered the points threshold, though.
Did they not?
Still 500.
Well, okay, so to be fair, I think they kind of have to because they keep letting people from the previous years keep qualifying.
I know, but it's so awkward for anyone who wants to try to get into it. Because it's like, no, you just have to wait. You have to wait till August. Like, you're not getting in if you haven't started.
What I would really like to see is I would love for them to continue the online events they've been doing. And I hope those are end. But I have a feeling they will.
I prefer those.
I just like them. Gosh. I like them a lot. I've said it on the show before. My number one favorite thing was when they did the first Players Cup. The people who top cut Players Cup were nobody that anybody knew.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I thought that
all of them. All of them. And I think that's because there's such a high barrier of entry for this. Because you have to travel. One, now you're going to have to be willing to travel in God knows what kind of health conditions around
Not to
the
mention,
country.
Aren't hotels like super inflated right now along with bed and breakfasts?
Yep.
Breakfasts as well?
Yeah. Yeah, and, it's going to be nuts.
Planes are a rough thing from what I've heard too. So
yeah, I don't know. It's going to be nuts. I don't appreciate things like that. I don't know. I've just never been a big fan of the Pokemon circuit to begin with because it's kind of snowbally and it just lets like rich college students go become Pokemon masters.
Mm-hmm.
And that's I'm just not a fan. That's about it. All right. Well, I guess that's it for the news other than being like, hey, Pokemon Go is going to be at some regionals. And it's weird. It's weird. So on that note, though, we are going to go ahead and end it here. And we're going to kick it on over to PUCL's Poke Quiz, where we're going to quiz your co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Oh, hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The host can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
And welcome to Trivia Poke Quiz, whatever this segment is called. The sun is in a different place right now. I do not know how to handle it. And we are going to go ahead and start these questions off. You've heard the rules. We're going to jump right into it, though. The first one is going to come to you guys from the Purple Knight. Most legendaries have a catch rate of either 3 or 45. However, there are 2 legendaries with a catch rate of 10. What are they?
I believe it's a story-related legendary.
I assume those would have been the 45, because I'm assuming the 45 are...
I think it's Zacian and
Zekrom and... Okay, because the 45 is Zekrom and Reshiram, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because I know for a while they had like Rayquaza at 45, and they just forgot to bump it down after Ores. But I think Zacian and Zamazenta had like a lower catch rate, but not a 3. And most legends didn't get new catch rates in Sword and Shield because they're in
that makes sense.
Adventure where they're 100.
That makes sense.
All right. Zacian and Zamazenta are correct. They do have a catch rate of 10. All right. So this next one is going to come to you from, we're going to just go with Gus. What is the only location in-game whose name can be changed?
Location?
So would it be like something that's owned by the player?
Yeah, that would make sense.
Would it be
I'm thinking it's Blank's PC, because that's where your Pokemon be, and it's a location, and it's named after you. No, that's your items.
No, my thought was in Platinum, how you get the villa.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
That's my thought, but...
Or is there, like, a place that the name changes after an event, maybe?
I was thinking maybe that's the case, but I can't think of anything.
I can't either. But the villa in Sinnoh makes sense.
Like, once you own it, maybe that changes the name of it. I don't know. That's my thought process, anyway.
Oh, wait. Is there any place that has a different name based on which version of the game you play?
Yeah, but that doesn't change its... Oh, wait. Like, as in... Oh, is it the black 2, white 2 cave for the Reggies? Because you can change its location. You can change what Reggie it's in, and does that change names?
I was thinking it might have been where the temples are in Sun and Moon.
No, because you can't really change the name of that, because it's a different dimension.
I'm going to need an answer.
I could see it being like the Reggie Chambers, because you change what Reggie Chamber it becomes with the key.
I like that. Yeah. That's a location that's changing.
Because it's the same location, but it's a different thing. And you physically change it, so...
Yeah, let's go with that. I like that.
Changing it. That's my guess.
Sure. I like that guess as well.
The Reggie Chamber, I believe, is incorrect, because I think the chamber just has one name.
Okay.
The answer is from Black and White 2, though, and it is Join Avenue.
Oh.
What was it in the other one? Oh, because you named Join Avenue, huh?
You can rename Join Avenue.
You named Join Avenue. Oh, Join Avenue was fabulous. I loved it.
I liked it.
Yeah. Join Avenue is like, mwah, a chef's kiss, right? Like,
yeah.
It was the good version of Festival Plaza.
It was.
Seriously.
It was. I don't know how they've just been managing to like downgrade everything they've perfected very quickly and with a lot of these things. All right, the next one is your Pokedex entry question, and we're gonna get it from Gliscor Gamer this week, only because Liger tried to do Snivy. That's the other one.
That would have been fine.
I know.
Give us a freebie.
This one you should probably remember too, Sublime. Its sword entry reads, after captivating opponents with its sweet scent, it lashes them with its thorny whips. Who's that Pokemon?
Is it like a Bulbasaur or Ivysaur?
After captivating opponents with its sweet scent, it lashes them with its thorny whips. I'm thinking like a Roselia.
I could see it being a Roselia.
But I don't know that Roselia has whips. You know, it's just got them pretty flower fingers, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's that.
Because it can't be like the Bellsprout line. They aren't in Sword and Shield.
I was like, well, it can't be Snivy from the Sword and Shield.
Yeah. I don't think any of the other starters have vines, do they?
Not thorny whips.
Yeah, like that would be a Bulbasaur thing.
And I don't think... Ivysaur. Are Bulbasaur's whips thorny? I don't think they are.
I feel like Ivysaur's might be. I don't know.
I'm gonna need an answer.
I'm okay with Roselia for a first try.
I don't think it's Roselia, though, so now I'm nervous.
Alright, are you locking in Roselia?
Yeah, if we need to.
I guess. Yeah.
I will give it to you. The answer is Roserade. It's Roserade.
Okay,
but I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. You get the 2 points for that. Backup entry was pretty much the same thing. Its Heart Gold and Soul Silver entry reads, its sweet aroma attracts prey, then it spews poison. The more toxic it is, the sweeter its aroma.
I'm not sure that would have gotten us closer.
No, it wouldn't have. I read that and I was like,
well,
no.
I guess it's lucky that we went with what we went with.
I think that would have put us towards like Vileplume.
Yeah.
All right. So that gives you guys 3 for 3 now. This next question is going to be worth up to, I think it's 3 points. There are 6 answers for this. You will get 1 point for every 2 answers. You get 2 strikes and then you're out. This is from Spike. What 6 types have yet to be combined with the normal type on a Pokemon?
Oh, that's easy.
Not bad. So Ghost is one, right?
Easy. Normal Ghost, yeah.
That's correct. That's one.
Normal, let's see. Going through
normal Fairy exists.
I can't think of a normal Poison.
I don't think there is a normal Poison.
Yeah, normal Poison.
That's 2.
There is a normal Dragon, though. A normal Steel, I don't think there is one out, though.
That is 3.
They don't want to make fighting too powerful. Normal Rock, on that note.
That is 4.
Normal Ice?
That is 5. There's one more to get the full one.
Oh, Normal Bug.
Normal Bug is the 6th one, yes. That gives you all 3 points for that question. You are sitting at 6 points right now. You can get your full 7 if you get this next one correct. This one is your base stat question as always. And it's going to come to you from Poliwo. What electric type Pokemon has the highest defense of all electric type Pokemon?
Oh, it's probably a Alolan Golem, isn't it?
Yeah, that makes... Oh, yeah. I was thinking, like, what are the electric steels? But I bet Magnezone has less than Golem.
I feel like Golem's definitely higher than Magnezone. The only thing that competes with it is probably Mega Ampharos, but
I think Mega Ampharos is just all special attack is the thing.
I know it doesn't have a speed stat.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be the highest, even if it were increased.
I don't think any legendaries are up there.
No, because the electric legendaries tend to be frail and strong. Yeah. So I don't think it's a legendary either. The legendary electric types are usually not defense behemoths. So sure, why not Golem? Alolan Golem.
Alolan Golem is correct, with a base defense of 130. The top 4 is going to surprise you. Next up is the next one is Zekrom at 120, and then the next 2 are tied, who are Magnezone and Alolan Graveler at 115.
Well, there you have it.
Isn't that fun?
Not the Graveler. Electric types and defense are not best friends.
They don't mix.
But speed. Speed good. A lot of speedy.
That gives you guys 7 points, though, so that changes things up pretty significantly. So we're going to go ahead and highlight those, and we're going to go ahead and sort. All right. So in first place, we have SublimeManic with 19 points. In second place, we have R.Sigma with 13 points.
Ooh.
It's just because everybody's so close together, and then you guys got to play. And then in third place, we have Seth Vila with 12 points. In tied for fourth place, we have Whimsicott and Mark with 10. In sixth place, we have Linny and 7. And Cloud and Jushiro are tied for seventh place with 5. Everybody else has yet to get on the board. On that note, we're going to go ahead and kick it on over to the topic. Hey, would you like a green Tauros badge? Well, you can have one. If you come over to our Patreon at patreon.com/PuclPodcast, we are going to be giving them out once we hit $850. We're going to be giving those to every patron at the $10 plus tier because we love you guys. We'd love to see this project made. Of course, if we hit any other thresholds on the way there, such as $800 for the week-long giveaways to the community, that would also happen as well. So if you'd be interested in getting a green Tauros badge, feel free. Come on over. If you can't support the show, don't worry about it. You just listening is enough for us. So until then, though, guys, I'm Thatch, and I'll catch you guys on the flip-flop. And welcome to the topic. Our topic today is, what should you expect from a remake? Or what makes a good remake, I guess. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what should they put in a remake? What shouldn't they do with the you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
What made some of the remakes good? What made them not as good?
Yeah. I can totally understand that. I mean, so obviously Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I think Among Us are good games.
Yeah.
I feel like Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and Oras both are very positively regarded.
Yes, I would put RS up there.
Oras just feels good. I mean, because I really like their remakes to be more like remasters, which is what those two are, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say Leaf Green, Fire Red were remasters.
Yeah, but that one was so far away, it's hard to think of in the same way, maybe. I don't know.
It was the first one, and honestly, Leaf Green, Fire Red did a lot of things wrong.
Yeah.
It did a lot of things wrong. Like, one, it kept you away from any Pokemon that existed after Leaf Green, Fire Red.
Yeah, or it would stop you from evolving your Crobat, like, mid-evolution, every level. Poor Crobat.
I know. That's so frustrating, right? I'm sure the same thing would happen to a Blissey. Like, there's that one guy that, like, ran through the game with a Chansey.
I was going to say, I never experienced that. I never used a Chansey.
Yeah, who uses a Chansey in a playthrough?
I guess if you had an Eevee and you never bothered to use a stone, eventually you'd be like, why does my Eevee not evolve? But that's...
Yeah. Well, to be fair, there wasn't a time mechanic in Leaf Green, Fire Red.
You had to put it in Ruby.
You had to put it in Ruby and Sapphire. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the other thing is back then, Leaf Green, Fire Red was helping you complete the Pokedex again.
Yes. Okay, so I would have been okay if that would have been the new model they went to with like Sword and Shield and everything, and maybe that is what they're doing. We don't know yet because they can't be transparent about it. And I would love for that to have been the model instead, because I get it. There's 900 some Pokemon now, and it makes sense that we're probably going to have to like not get them all in a game. But it'd be cool if at the end of the generation it's like, hey, everybody's here. Like give me the Smash Brothers Ultimate. Everybody's here.
We slowly updated our base game, and now everyone can join.
Yeah.
Except Unknown. That thing stays out.
No, Unknown's coming back.
No
if you see the
hidden power.
trailers.
Unknown's coming back, but is Hidden Power coming back? Because I don't think it is. So,
ooh, that's a good
That's
question.
the thing.
If they do update Sword and Shield, I could see Unknown being not coming.
I can see it coming and Hidden Power coming back in a limited capacity, and that there wouldn't be a TM or a TR, and it would if you were to become quote unquote battle ready, you'd have to kill Hidden Power.
Or maybe it just becomes a unknown signature move.
It honestly should. At this point.
That would kind of fix that. Yeah, that could fix that.
I think in order to get to that point, you also have to make it so like movesets reset as you enter the game, and they're not at that point with Sword and Shield.
No, they're not at that point. But I think
Hidden Power is fine if you reset moves as you enter the game, and I'd be okay with that.
So hear me out, because you're trying to have TPCI solve a fan meta problem, right? And I don't think that is their goal at this point. I think that the Battle Ready mark, because the Battle Ready mark didn't come out until after Isle of Armor, right?
Yeah, I remember. It was a cool mechanic, and they need to keep that.
Yeah. So it came with Isle of Armor, and so I think that was an afterthought that they were trying to figure out, or that they found a solution to it after the game happened. So I think the Battle Ready mark fixes all of the Hidden Power issues as far as TPCI is concerned.
Yeah. Well, I guess so. It's just Hidden Power is such a mess with Dynamax. Like,
Absolutely.
I understand why they cut it. One, it's a competitive mess, and two, compatibility with Dynamax is super awkward. So.
Yep, that makes sense. Let's see. I don't know. What else do you guys think should be in a remake?
Well, I think it needs to update the conveniences that have like come with time.
I think they did a very good job with that with BDSP, like we talked about last week.
Yeah. But you also, I think you need to add something new. I think you do need to add some new component. Otherwise, why should you play this instead of the original version?
I mean, that's something I'd be willing to compliment Let's Go on. Adding megas, like, right as you finish the last gym.
Yeah, or like, I mean, and Let's Go also notably had like an entirely original like mechanic for catching things compared to other Pokemon games. So it does have some innovation there. With Oras, they added a bunch of megas, which was very exciting at the time.
That was exciting. I wish we'd go back to that, but alas.
I know. Gen 6 favorite gen. But, yeah, so, like, it was a pretty, I feel like Oras is a good example because it was pretty true to the game itself. New Marvel was a choice, I feel like, but,
Yes.
On the whole, it was pretty true to the game.
They had to do something.
I get it.
They had to do something because Europe really screwed a lot of things up with that.
I know, with their little gambling, no casinos allowed. Fantasy,
which is semi-fair.
That's fair.
But I don't think they've applied the same thing to loot boxes quite yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah, which is unfortunate.
Right, but so it was a true game, but it did change enough, and it introduced new things relevant to that generation. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting because with BDSP, you can see that is no longer going to be the case in the same way.
Yeah.
They could have added some more Gigantamax forms, hypothetically, right?
Hypothetically.
No, they could have.
Hypothetically.
I'm really okay with them not including Dynamax.
I'd have preferred Megas, but,
Same, because, well, first of all, we wanted Megas. We don't want more
Megas are agnostic, right? So
they can be anywhere.
Besides the point. Exactly. But with Oros, they had added new versions of what the current mechanic at the time was, and it was very, very well received, obviously.
Megas in general were just very well received.
Sure, but the thing about it is Oros added more.
Gigantamax was do you do extra damage? Okay. You're fine.
Yep.
They didn't even add Gigantamaxes to the DLC outside of Urshifu. They signaled they were done. Urshifu and the starters, I guess.
Well, they actually... So Calyrex has some cool Dynamax lore, though, which is really cool. Which is something that's nobody really talks about unless you, really go into the lore. Because if you if you Dynamax Calyrex or Calyrex Shadow Rider, it's a different color aura because it doesn't use the same power to Dynamax that every other Pokemon does. So it's it's really cool. Lore-wise, it's really cool. DLC was good.
I think the DLC was helpful.
We can also talk about, you and I have talked about how the competitive community and in general just doesn't like Dynamax. And I honestly don't think the way Dynamax was implemented initially, they fixed it in Isle of Armor, but it should have been there at launch. The way that they implemented it was just so dumb that you had to get them from raid dens, so you couldn't take the Pokemon that you had been training and be like, oh, you're Gigantamax now. And that, I think, was the biggest flaw that they had during the Gigantamax. Gigantamax is just full of missed opportunities, because I think they tried to pull a Mega with that, and it was just, I don't know, I like Dynamax from a competitive standpoint in both VGC and in BSS.
Dynamax is okay. I would not be sad to see it not be.
I won't miss it.
Well, so I don't think I'm excited for it from a visual Pokemon fan standpoint. I would be for Megas. Megas, I'm just heck yeah, Mega Charizard, or heck yeah, Mega Venusaur looks cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I feel that way about any Gigantamax or even just the Dynamax mechanic in general, how it feels to do that. Dynamax, when you get to do it, is very much just yeah, I did it. And from a competitive standpoint, it's really cool to think about that strategically, but that's not a majority of their fan base, right?
Yeah.
The majority of their fan base is like my friends who text me in my text group and they go, oh, hey, why can't I turn my my Colossal into a Gigantamax Colossal? Why can't it Gigantamax?
Mm-hmm. One thing that I do like about some remakes that I do think BDSP is doing well, however, is when they further flesh out or explore sort of side content from those games for a new generation, hideouts in Oros were really great.
Yeah, they were.
And the Underground seems to be following that same thread.
Yes. The only thing that I think has been criticized so far about the new Underground has been that it looks like it's only a place for the statues. And I don't know how true that is. I don't know how true that is, if that holds water.
I heard they killed off Capture the Flag, but whatever.
I did hear that too.
I'm okay with that. I'm not hurt.
I'm only a little upset in that because Diamond and Pearl were the first games that had hardcore online content. They didn't have online content for the Underground. And
because it was on the DS, which could connect.
Well, no, it could connect, right? So but you can only play local in the Underground, but you could connect online. We could battle over the Wi-Fi with the DS, but we couldn't play Underground together. And I was just oh man, it'd be really cool to do something play in the Underground with you guys. over Wi-Fi, and that we can't do that now, obviously. And we can't make poffins together, which I guess is okay too, because the problem with that is like it gates good the best poffins. So that's all right.
I do love contests. I'm looking forward to contests.
Yeah,
I guess
these new contests here look really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited for them.
Mm-hmm.
I look forward to getting ribbons.
Yeah, I like raising Pokemon for contests. I was sad when they didn't include that in Gen 5.
I just like having something else. You know what I mean? Like, I like having something else than just standard battle fare. And
sure.
I think, I don't know, like, I think Heart Gold Soul Silver did really well without contests, but I think that's because they did a smart move in being like, hey, let's take some of the crystal content and put it in. Mm-hmm. Which is completely unnecessary, by the way. I didn't think they needed that in like the Suicune stuff.
They didn't need to, but
I don't know. It was appreciated.
Nice that they did.
When you kill roaming Pokemon,
it makes it better.
Like, less roaming Pokemon is good.
Yes. Oh man, do you think they're gonna have roaming Pokemon show up in BDSP? Oh my!
I hope it's limited to just Cresselia and Mesprit.
Yes.
Because if the birds come back, please don't let Platinum was so bad.
I mean, if they're doing an accurate remake, they'll be roaming.
Yeah.
So I'm not looking forward to that.
Yeah, roaming Pokemon in Gen 4 was awful.
Although, I mean, I didn't mind how they handled it in Sword and Shield. So if they handled it somehow like that,
that's true.
Opposed.
They did a really good job with roaming Pokemon in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, they did. That was the first time it wasn't miserable.
I think when they did the birds in Crown Tundra, that was done really, really well.
Even like XY's roaming Pokemon was better.
Yes, that's true.
It's like, chase them to a location.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Because you can't soft reset a roaming Pokemon, and that's awful.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I really... Yeah, I don't miss roaming Pokemon. I don't miss that at all.
Yeah.
Well, they fixed a lot of that issue now, too, with, like, mints and the
That's
bottle
true.
caps.
It wouldn't matter as much now.
I mean, Cresselia wants the 0 speed sometimes.
Sometimes. That's true.
That's a good point, because Trick Room. Yeah.
That's, like, the only change they can make in Gen 9 that I think that would be met with fanfare.
A rusty bottle cap?
Is a rusty bottle cap.
Give me a rusty bottle cap and a ball swapper. I want a ball swapper, too.
Oh! I just remembered, doesn't Gen 4 the one where you could, like, customize your Pokemon?
Yeah, no, that's coming back.
Okay. Yeah.
That's coming back.
See, flesh that out. That kind of thing.
I mean, I'm still super excited for, like, Legends Arceus's, like, Pokeball crafting that they have. I'm very excited for that. Well, we'll see how that works out.
We should get an update to our logo for the Legends Arceus Great Ball, but...
Yes, that's what we should do. Yeah. Just for, like, the hot minute that Legends Arceus is out.
Do it for, like, 6 months and then change it back, but yeah.
Yeah, that could be cute. That's not a bad idea. I don't know. I'm just, like, very excited for that.
Here's a question. Do you think it's better or worse that BDSP does not have the same art style or graphic style as Sword and Shield?
I think it's better.
I think it's better. I don't know that the one they chose is the best option.
That's fair.
Because, like, I think they could have literally just, like, ripped the character art that they did in, like, the 3DS. Even just, like, for Oraz. Because I understand the reason why they did it. Because if you were to do the same art style as Sword and Shield, with the way the camera moves and everything in Sword and Shield, it just doesn't work in Diamond and Pearl, right? Mm-hmm. And so you have to have that top-down perspective, and they definitely just ripped Link's Awakening.
Plus, I'd imagine that doing the assets for, like, Sword and Shield is a lot more than doing assets for the style they chose, so... Absolutely.
Well, and you also need it for, like, the grid-based game, right? It's a grid-based game.
Yeah, but it does feel incongruous in a way that Oras and Heart Gold Soul Silver never did.
Mm-hmm.
It does feel that way, and I mean, it's because Oraz is on the Gen 6 engine, and the Gen 6 engine still used the grid, whether or not people like to remember that. It did. X and Y used a grid. And so Oraz could get away with doing that and doing, like, the minor off-the-grid stuff, like when you went to the control stick for Dex Nav and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, do you remember when Oraz was coming out and they told us why they couldn't do trainer customization?
I don't remember. I thought the reason they said they just didn't do it, I think they just did it because they were just like, hey, it's a remake. We're not going to do it.
I thought I remember hearing somewhere that they said May and Brendan are characters, so instead of the character being you in XY or something like that.
Yeah,
No.
that's because I think that was, I don't know, I think that that's a happy reverse position they did.
I am glad BDSP said, no, we're doing customization. It's like,
yeah.
cool.
No, well, they needed to do something because I feel like they didn't add as much to BDSP as they had. Well, or as to be fair, didn't have a lot added to it other than the mega storyline.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Delta episode at the end.
You had flying. You had the flying on the Lati,
That's
which
true.
I think was phenomenal. Gave you a whole new way to travel.
I think that the soaring in the sky is the equivalent in ORAS to what we're getting in the new Underground.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that that's a fair comparison, because the Underground was in Diamond and Pearl.
But like the hidden grotto type.
The grottos feel like the islands, yeah.
Yeah. It's just a different way to do it.
It's like, this is how you get old Pokemon that aren't in the game. Like, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't care about soaring, but I know a lot of people really enjoyed it.
I enjoyed soaring.
And then
soaring was cool.
Those islands, and you had like all of
Absolutely.
the legends, which was always fun.
Yeah, it was a good legend hunt. I don't know how I feel about max raid battles at the end of the day, because I think they're cool and I think they were a fun thing to do together. And probably you need the legends at the end for people to actually want to keep doing them. But at the same time, I'm like, man, I would have liked to just like go on a full-on legend hunt. And I guess they kind of did in Crown Tundra with some of the Pokemon, but a full-on legend hunt would have been great.
The ones they did it with were fun. That's why I kind of wish they did it with more, but...
Yeah.
I've been hunting Zekrom for a while now, and it's rough.
Yeah, it's not as fun to like do it on your own.
Well, getting the shiny is a pain in the butt.
Yes.
I feel bad for anyone who wants a Stakataka, because getting like the low speed you need is awful in Dynamax Adventure.
So I don't know. I think they did a good job with that, but I don't know. Remakes though, I don't know necessarily need you to go capture all the Pokemon. I think it's better in Crown Tundra that way, honestly.
If they didn't put, because we don't know about Legends still. That's like the last thing that's on the list of are they in BDSP, right? And if they're not there, I'm not going to be sad.
I'm not going to care if not Kyogre, but if
I don't need to catch Kyogre number 20. Like
yeah.
But we have been playing Pokemon every generation.
No, I totally understand. I really wish Gen 8, since we switched to home, gave you the I hope since we switched to home, which doesn't let you go back to bank or anything, and it has that prize for finishing the national decks, which is that Magearna. I really wish they had a way for you in just Gen 8 games to complete the national decks.
That would be nice.
Like how Jashiro just lost his library of Pokemon.
I would love him just to be able to catch everything.
I like that the remakes had a ton of legends in them.
Yeah, but they put that in the DLC now. Like,
yeah, we have it in the DLC.
Yeah, they put it in DLC.
That's true.
So
That's true.
I don't need it in BDSP. I'm not going to be upset.
Yeah, and honestly, Sword and Shield did a really good job. I think they still have, like in Sword and Shield, if you get all the DLC, you can catch the most Pokemon out of any Pokemon game.
Yeah, it's like 650 or something like that.
It's more than that. I think they broke the 700 number almost.
Ooh. Yeah, there's a lot.
Close. There's a lot,
including Keldeo. Like, good.
Yeah, they demythicalized a Pokemon at the same time. I would love for BDSP to do that. Oras set the precedent with like the Delta episode, and I know they're gonna be like, well, that was just an Oras thing, because we need every game to have something special.
Give us Darkrai or Shaman.
I would love for Darkrai. Yeah,
I think Darkrai or Shaman need to be in BDSP.
Yeah, I suspect they will demythicalize Darkrai because it's paired with Cresselia, kind of like a duo. And
that's what I would expect too. And then you could get rid of the roaming encounter with Cresselia.
Mm-hmm. Like, make that into its episode. That would be cool.
Exactly. Yeah. Do like a Cresselia and Darkrai special. You know?
Yep. I absolutely agree with that. I think that's the way you do it, just to clean up the game a lot, and then people get Darkrai and everybody's happy. I would even be okay with them just rerunning almost the exact same events in BDSP, just to be like, hey, here's the events.
You know, if those were built in, that would be how you do it.
Yeah, I would be so happy with that. And you know, it's so much easier to do now.
Yeah.
It's so much easier to handle that now.
Mm-hmm. I will say I didn't play Gen 4 until Platinum, and I missed all of those events. They
reran them in Platinum, I think, for a hot second.
Okay, well, I got Platinum after after the moment, you know?
That's fair.
I was late to the party for Gen 4. Very much so.
That's fine.
And, like, yeah, there's, like, all of these really great story beats. Like, Silver has some really great stuff that I think would be really, really smart of them to include in BDSP just, like, permanently.
Yes. No, I mean, I really hope that they add in a bunch of that stuff. I really do. Because it's...
Be a good way to get a bunch of mythics, too. Demythicalize a bunch of stuff, yeah.
I think they have so many mythicals now, and I think they obviously see the problem since the only mythical we've gotten so far in Gen 8 is Zarud, and that is by far okay.
And did we get Zarud, though? But did we, though?
I half expect another mythical to show up in Legends Arceus. Like,
I wouldn't be surprised if there's another mythical.
Or a mythical shows up in the update that makes Sword and Shield compatible with Legends Arceus.
Yes.
Like, I feel like there needs to be another mythical this gen.
If they do it, they need to do it better, because Zarud was just so underwhelming.
Zarud is the least exciting mythical I can remember. Well, that's not true. Volcanian's there.
I don't know. I feel like Volcanion was more exciting only because of its typing, and like Zarud's typing isn't unique, and
or good.
Yeah, I just feel bad. I'm just like, Zarud, I wish you were good. I don't know. I'm still waiting for the moment for them to let us bring mythicals into VGC for like that hot second.
Yeah, that would be fun.
I'm waiting for it.
We have to get them demythicalized. That's what it's going to take.
They need to just make Keldeo legal. Like, Keldeo doesn't even have a 600 base stat total.
I don't know. I would love to see mythicals come in.
I don't think he's better than Water Urshifu or better than...
I think Urshifu and Calyrex are how you do mythicals now. I 100% think you just do a DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I don't think there's any more mythicals. Like, because I think we got the 3 mythicals that we typically get in a generation, and it was Zarud for whatever reason, Urshifu, Calyrex.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think it is.
And I like the horses too. Like,
yeah,
absolutely. I think they did a very good job, and I'm hoping that BDSP can play into that. Like, not be the same thing, but maybe it plays into it in the way that maybe we can bring the Pokemon over. I really hope so, at least. Maybe because it would just be like a nice way to do it. And I would honestly, as a Pokemon fan that was hurt by Dexit, and I mean, I wouldn't say the wounds are entirely healed, but it's to the point where I can actually like play Pokemon and not feel bad about it. I would like, it would be a nice olive branch, just to be like, hey, we're doing it for you, okay, bud? Here you go. Where's Greninja? Nobody knows. But
one day Greninja will make it back.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if BDSP had more Pokemon in it than the 493. Like at the end, like, hey, here's a Froakie or something like that,
or the 453 or whatever it ends up being.
Yeah, because we're only missing. Well, we're missing half the starters, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's semi-confirmed that like Gen 2's at least going to pop up.
Yeah, we saw Torchic. I assume Gen 2 will show up in BDSP.
Yeah, I assume Gen 2 will be there. That just leaves Gens 5 and 6, unfortunately, for Sublime.
Yeah, no one cares about those Pokemon, right? Like, that's fine. We can just ignore those people.
I mean, we know Oshawott coming, so, you know.
Yeah, we know Oshawott's coming, so I kind of feel like they're going to fill it in.
I mean, I don't expect them to be in Legends Arceus, though. That's awkward. Without a DLC.
No.
A DLC, I could see adding it to Legends Arceus, or they just throw them in the update if they add an update to Sword and Shield, right?
I could see that, where they're just like, hey, they're all here now.
Like, you don't have to make them available. You can just be like, okay, you can bring them over now. You can get them and go.
They even updated, they ended up updating Sword and Shield to actually let you get, in Isle of Armor, to let you get a Alolan starter. And then you can still get the Hoenn starter, as well through Dynamax Adventures. So I would see them giving us a way to get the rest of them. And like I said, it would be a really good way for them to be like, hey, you can finish the national decks with Gen 8.
I mean, they could do a Dynamax weekend if they do an update and just add them.
Exactly. But I think this is a good place to stop. I think there's a lot of things that remakes need. They just need they need the source material. They need to update to current gen policies, which I think they did a very good job of. I think the only thing that people are really complaining about is the experience share on all the time, but that's kind of like baked into Pokemon code at this point.
I've kind of accepted that, and it's not like Pokemon's the only RPG doing that nowadays.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel bad about it. The only thing I feel bad about, I mean, one, it lets you play with a lot more Pokemon. which is kind of cool. Because I used to just play multiple playthroughs so I could play with different Pokemon, but now I could be like, oh, I used him until he's useful, and now he's done. And then I can move on to something else. And so, I don't know, it's a different way to play, but I'm used to it.
No, the one I feel bad about is that we don't have a Gen 2 game with experience here yet, because that's the game that needed it the most.
That needed it.
I still have opinions, but we're not going to bring it into this discussion.
You mentioned them last week. People can listen back a week.
Yep. But yeah, I think this was fruitful. I think BDSP, as long as it's Diamond and Pearl and maybe adds like a couple little things of flavor, is going to be fine. I think the underground, the way it is fix that and has done as much as I've expected. They haven't talked about Battle Area yet, and they still haven't talked about Pal Park. So I'm kind of interested to see how that all goes.
Yeah, looking at the map, Pal Park is interesting. There's a lot of caves there. Maybe that's the Reggies.
I'm interested.
If any legends make it in, the Reggies are the ones, right?
Yes, absolutely. Because you have to get Regigigas. They have to put the Reggies in.
Yeah, the Reggies need to be there for Regigigas. So.
All right. Well, on that note, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back at you with the Pokemon of the episode. We'll catch you on the flip-flop.
The episode.
And welcome to the Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode this week is National Dex number 646, Kyurem, the Boundary Pokemon.
The sameness of Reshiram's and Kyurem's genes allowed Kyurem to absorb Reshiram. Kyurem can now use the power of both fire and ice.
Fire and ice. Oh man. Kyurem White specifically is our Pokemon of the episode.
And it's scary.
Yeah.
He's scary. Kyurem White's actually pretty decent.
He hit real hard.
He hit hard. He hit hard. He hit good. Because it turns out, unlike Kyurem Black, he gets moves that he can use and utilize. So because he's not
Kyurem Black got better.
He doesn't get Ice Punch, which is sad.
He has Icicle Spear, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
Almost as good. So Kyurem White, for those of you at home, he has a base HP of 125, an attack of 120, a defense of 90, 170 special attack, which is why it's better than Kyurem Black sometimes.
I mean, it can't get intimidated, is essentially what it is.
And then special defense of 195 speed, like every other Kyurem that you've ever seen. So today we've got a VGC team, though, that uses this Kyurem White right now for Series 10, which honestly is kind of cool
Ends
to see.
in a week, but sure, yeah.
I'm worried about it because, like, how's this team counter Zacian?
It actually is okay with, like, if you get a minus speed on it, I think Kyurem might get that speed.
If you get okay, I can see how you can do that with this team.
And they also just outbulks it.
I'm just gonna take these top two. The man of the hour, Kyurem White. We've got him holding a life orb with Freeze Dry, Earth Power, Blizzard, and Protect. He's just gonna hit hard. The Earth Power is probably there to be able to hit a Zacian if you can outspeed it.
Which I think you can after one Electro Web, maybe two.
After one Electro Web, you could probably do it. Yeah, so it is definitely possible for you to do that.
We are max speed, so, you know.
Yeah, you are max speed. So base 95, I think, outspeeds after -1 on a Zacian.
Especially since I think they go a little bulkier these days. So
yes. Then you've also got Urshifu on the team, because it's Urshifu. With Sucker Punch, Close Combat, Protect, and Wicked Blow, holding safety goggles so it can't be put to sleep by Amoonguss, one of the top partners for Zacian.
Also, it avoids the snow, I think, so yay.
That makes sense based on this team.
Yeah. I mean, otherwise it would be holding the Focus Sash, but something else has that. Or the Scarf, which something else has, so, you know.
Yep. So, who's next? Take whatever you want.
I'll go. I like talking about Ferrothorns. I like Ferrothorns. And we've got a max HP Ferrothorn holding the Quick Claw item because, oh boy, when that goes off, opponent gets scared. Our attacks are Iron Head, Power Whip, Knockoff, and Gyro Ball. Ooh.
I feel like Quick Claw Ferrothorn is literally just like intimidation, pure intimidation.
All attack quick clock.
Yeah, you're gonna get caught off guard. It's like,
what's the EV spread on that?
It's max attack, max HP.
Okay. So it just wants to hit hard for funsies. I get it.
Yeah. I mean, you're mostly bringing it to Trick Room matches, so.
Man.
Next up, we've got Entei holding its little assault vest. Instead of investing in speed, it invests more in its special defense. So it's a bulky-ish boy. It resists both of Zacian's attacks, so has a chance of doing well against that. It has Sacred Fire Extreme Speed, Stone Edge, and in its flex slot, it has Crunch instead of like Stomping Tantrum. So
I think that's fine because you have Sacred Fire, so
yeah.
You
also,
can hit
a Sacred Fire moment.
Entei has Inner Focus, and Inner Focus is good this gen. So
Inner Focus got better. It got buffed real good.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you just don't care about Incineroar. Life is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
No fake out, no intimidate. I don't care. I'm gonna crush you.
Well, Sublime, I guess you can take us home on these last.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it with the snow, y'all, because we got an Alolan Ninetales rocking that snow warning with the focus sash, and as R.Sigma called the set, it's spicy. Because we're running Protect, Moonblast, Blizzard, but the last slot is Sheer Cold. Yeah,
that's reasonable.
You can do that in VGC. It's VGC, and like it's a statistics game, you know?
Absolutely.
It's a statistics game. Sometimes that's your best option.
I think Lapras was running that pretty regularly for a while.
In Gen 6, 2014-ish? Yeah.
No, I mean in 2020.
Well, there you go. Sheer Cold lives on.
Yeah, it goes big, it gets its Aurora Veil up, and then it starts clicking Sheer Cold because it's scared.
Although this one does not run Aurora Veil.
Well, no, I was talking about with the Lapras. It goes big and gets
sure.
It gets its Dynamax or Gigantamax Aurora
No,
Veil.
this Sheer Cold is just a hit like a Zacian.
That's the Zacian counter. You were wondering about that.
That's one of the Zacian counters. I feel like every team right now has to just have a Zacian counter because Zacian is really good in this meta.
Absolutely. It's one of the three you'd like have to build for.
Yeah,
it's like that, Incineroar,
Shadow, Calyrex. There's a few big ones. And we're finishing up with the fastest Regieleki. We're doing a choice scarf, so we going super fast, and we doing Electroweb, Electro Ball, Zap Cannon, and Volt Switch.
With how good Regieleki is,
so you know what damage you're doing.
I really feel bad that Regieleki shows just how sad it is that Regidrago isn't good.
I know. I like Regidrago too. I like Regidrago more too. I love the legs. So ridiculous.
Little waddling. Yeah.
Yeah. Super waddle.
I have I hunted the shiny Regieleki. I have not gotten to Drago yet.
Yeah, but Electroweb is noteworthy because speed in VGC is
absolutely
spread speed dropping. So good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Zap Cannon wouldn't be bad either. Like he can still get the para.
It's a coin flip.
Yeah,
it's a coin flip.
So
like
Sheer Cold,
but you don't auto kill. You.
You've got a few instructions on the best ways to pilot. It's all in Japanese, so I'm going to let you translate Sigma.
So from what I read earlier, it's like against normal teams or against Tailwind teams, you can lead either Kyurem plus Regieleki or Regieleki plus Ninetales. And then in the back, you have Entei plus whatever you didn't lead between Kyurem and Ninetales. Like, if you're against a weather team, you probably want to keep your Ninetales in the back. Makes sense.
Switch it in.
Because you just want to spam Blizzard. That's what you want to do.
Yeah.
Yep. And then, against Trick Room teams, you're always going to be leading Entei, and then you have either Urshifu or Kyurem in the other lead spot, and then Ferrothorn in the back, is what the main guidelines are for how to play the team.
That checks out. Mm-hmm. Is the Urshifu not max speed then? Because you want it for the Trick Room
he
boys?
A bulky boy. He max HP. He's here to bulk. He wants to just destroy.
Man, that's nuts.
It's like, you're a Duskmane Necrozma? I'm gonna eat you alive.
Well then, if you want to play this team, we'll have it on the Discord for you guys to try out. Hopefully it goes well. In VGC, there's only a few more weeks of this meta left, and then we get back. Then we go back to Dynamax.
I mean, technically, you could still run this in Dynamax. I don't know.
I think you could. I think you should run a different move on Kyurem. Because I think it gets a flying type move that you could probably utilize.
Probably. Or you get your fire move on there. One of the
yes.
I don't know.
Something like that. But yeah, I think because I did run one for a hot minute during the Dynamax metas. So I'll have to see. But it's a cool Pokemon to play around with. But yeah, definitely go grab it. I would say to the patrons, you can get a shiny one this week, but I will unfortunately be out of town, so I won't be able to monitor the bot. So I'll see what I can do, but no promises. Maybe we do that the week we come back. So on that note, though, that has been the Pokemon of the episode. So we're going to kick it on over, guys, to the mailbag.
It's mail time! It's time for the mailbag! Send in your emails!
And welcome to the mailbag. The mailbag is the part of the show where you send in emails to us and we read them on the show. Our mailbag question last week was, are you going to buy BDSP? You, of course, can not write in about that and able to read it on the show. But we got a lot of emails already and it's only Wednesday, so I apologize if you sent one in after Wednesday or it doesn't make it on the show. We'll definitely try to do an extended mailbag for this at some point, such that your email will get some time in the light. We did do one actually last week. It's on YouTube, right? Or it's somewhere
It is on
YouTube.
It is released, yes.
Yes, perfect. As always, this part of the show is brought to you by the energy drink Green Tauros, the energy drink that gives you hooves.
Hooves!
And if you spark good discussion in your email, you will get the Green Tauros badge if we remember. All you have to do is ask for it on the server when we give it to you. All right, so our first email this week is going to come to you from Kester, and I believe Sigma's got this one.
Yeah! Hi there, Puckle hosts. Kester writing in again this week, and I want to tell you all that I am definitely looking forward to buying BDSP. I've mentioned before that my first Pokemon game was Platinum. Good job. Good on you. That's a good game to start off on. So, you can imagine the nostalgia I feel for Sinnoh. The idea of visiting the region with a fresh coat of paint and some quality of life fixes is very exciting to me, and I can't wait to explore the expanded underground, make poffins with my Pokemon, and participate in contests once again.
I'm most excited for the HP bar to go down at a reasonable pace.
Yes.
No more 25-second Blissey one-hit KOs.
I've been looking forward to BDSP much more than Legends Arceus, if I'm being honest. I get a sneaking suspicion Legends will only be a few hours long and more of a tech demo for things to come than a full-fledged game. Even so, I still hope everyone's pocket Monster Hunter dreams. Oh, hope for everyone's pocket Monster Hunter dreams. Wishing you all well this week, Kester.
I disagree with that. I think Legends will have a good chunk of content.
I think it'll be like at least standard length, like the 24 hours.
I think it'll be 20
Usually
hours.
it's 24 hours for me to get to the Elite Four.
I think it'll be about 20 hours. Just because a lot of it looked like you have to catch the same Pokemon multiple times, which I think they've been trying to find a way to integrate that into a real real in quotes Pokemon game.
The Go mechanic.
Not Go. Not for candy.
Let's Go tried to do it, and I think Let's Go was too much of a Go ripoff for it to work in that setting. But I think this is a good way to do it. Like, hey, you can unlock more information about the Pokemon if you catch more of them.
I think that's a good way to go about it. I think there's going to be like a decent amount of just exploring the areas when you're on a mission too. But
okay, hear me out. Candy makes a return for no reason as well. This is a successor to Let's Go Pikachu.
I think they did show that there's some kind of new XP candy.
It looks like there is, just based on the stats. Like, there has to be some kind of candy mechanic, right?
Yeah, there's special training for the stats or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So just something to keep in mind. I don't know. I think he's right. He's probably wrong about Arceus, because I think our tech demo was the DLC.
I remember that PS4 game about werewolves that only ended up being like a 2-hour game, and everyone got disappointed because it was like made for sequel bait and never got a sequel because nobody got it.
Oh my gosh.
That was a tech demo. I think Arceus is going to be okay.
Arceus is going to be a full-fledged game. It'll be a full-fledged game. It's going to be really good. My only worry is it's 1 month before Pokemon Day and they announce something big. They're probably going to announce Gen 9, right?
That's what I'm feeling.
I can see them announcing something else at the same time. Like, hey, here's another DLC for Switch, or here's a DLC for Legends.
Here's Detective Pikachu, too.
Oh my gosh, please no.
Red plus blue will make purple. I'm going to flip the script.
I hope everything from that press conference in 2019 just, like, died.
No more Pokemon Sleep. No more Detective Pikachu 2.
Pokemon Sleep is such a meme at this point. And can you imagine if they bring it up? That's like 3 years later.
More like they put us to Pokemon Sleep. Mm-hmm.
I think the Go craze died and there's no reason to bring Sleep anymore, and nobody...
I don't understand how the people at TPCI, it just feels like all the time they're just really bad at reading their fan base. I honestly do, because with Pokemon Go, they're just like, oh, this is going to be a craze that lasts forever, and it's kind of over.
I'm disappointed we haven't had more Masterworks.
They just don't know how to read the room.
They're running out of content.
Yes. Oh, Pokemon Go is going to be screwed after Gen 9.
Like, in 2 years, they're caught up. Like, what do they do? Or 3 years, I guess, because Gen 9...
They released Kecleon.
Finally. Kecleon and Zoroark together at last.
I like to imagine Kecleon's actually in the game, we just can never see it.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure they can find ways to do things.
They released Galarian Mr. Mime to people who didn't pay $8, so
Yeah, stuff like that.
All right. On that note, let's move on to this next email from Sly.
Alrighty. How's it going, Puckle Crew? It's your main man, Sly, emailing you for the first time. While you may have seen my name pop up in a few trivia questions, I never really had the guts to write it until today. I have been a loyal listener for about 3 months straight, and figured what better time to email you all than now. When it comes to the topic for this email, I will be 100% buying BDSP. As far back as I can remember, I have always liked to play games. There is a point in my life where I picture myself not throwing myself into the world of video games, and this passion was started thanks to a little game known as Pokemon Diamond. I had just broken my arm in grade school and was stuck in the hospital with nothing to do. And so my parents surprised me with a blue Nintendo DSi and a copy of Pokemon Diamond. With it being my first game experience outside of my friend's house, it was surprising how quickly I was able to pick up the game and begin playing. From there, my love for not only games but Pokemon emerged. From that point on, there hasn't been a single Pokemon release I missed. For this reason, I would be a fool not to buy Brilliant Diamond specifically, not only to relive my childhood memories, but to make new ones. I'm really excited to see how they revamped the Underground, as well as any other new experiences that I may encounter. Most importantly, however, everyone knows a trainer can't forget their trusty starter Pokemon, and it's about time I gave my good pal Piplup another go. With Piplup being the very first Pokemon I ever chose, you can call this a reunion, and I appreciate the time taken out of your day to read this email. And with that, I wish you all the best. See ya around, Sly.
Piplup is cool.
What year did the DSi come out?
I don't want to think about it because I don't want to feel old by this youngling.
Was it 2007, 2008, maybe?
To be fair, it's not that much younger because he said he was in grad school when it came out.
Grade school. Grade school.
That's what I meant.
That's very different from grad school.
That's not too bad. I was in high school when it came out, so and I'm old, so I don't feel too bad here.
It launched in grade school, or no, it didn't launch in grade school. It launched in 2009 in the US, it looks like, or 2008.
Okay, that's not bad. Like that's a year I graduated high school. Like,
we're just a bunch of old fogies. That's the problem.
Well, no, like we were in high school when Diamond and Pearl dropped, right?
And it's like I don't know when the DSi came out. I don't want to think that far back.
That's why I feel old.
It's very true.
This one's okay.
Yeah, no. Gen 4 has been a long time, right? The show's like
it's like the middle of the gens. Yeah.
Yeah, so like it was a long time ago at this point. So I don't feel bad if that's somebody's first game.
Yeah, it was a while ago.
All right, it's when it's Gen 6 or Gen 7 that they're like, this was my first game. That's when the arrow to the heart.
My first game was Let's Go. It's like, oh no.
Oh no.
I'm sorry.
All right. So our next email, and probably the last one for today, is going to be from The Purple Knight. Hey there, Thatch, Sigma, and Sublime. Hope you all are doing well. Right out the gate, I will 100% be getting BDSP. I like how everybody said 100%. It's a trend in the rest of the emails as well.
I mean, I'm tempted to put my Game Pass down on it too. Like
I'm like voucher. 50%. I don't know. Yeah. Like, let's change the math.
I'm ready to voucher it.
Specifically, Brilliant Diamond. I'm getting this because I technically skipped Gen 4 since I didn't have a DS at the time. I say technically, since the first time I played Diamond, Platinum, and Diamond in that order, which was terrible, by the way. Yes, it is, actually.
Yeah, I only played Platinum, and I would not go back.
Yeah, was in 2012 during Gen 5. Meanwhile, my brother who had one has fond memories of playing Pearl, and he wants to relive them in that copy. So who am I to say no? Basically, I'm getting it so I can have better memories and a great experience with the generation I skipped. Between my brother and I, we collected all the cards of Gen 3 and 5, which we both still have today, but I'm looking forward to the refresher on Sinnoh, as well as simply getting a new Pokemon game that is still relatively fresh to me. That's true. I think it's been long enough that so many people haven't played it, and those cartridges are very hard to come by now.
I'm very bad at restarting my games because I want to keep my original Call of Fame thing on it. So
I totally understand that.
I have not played it in a long time.
Yeah. So it's this is actually like I completely understand this. Yeah, it's been long enough that so many people who are playing Pokemon, this is a new game to them regardless.
Mm-hmm. I have vague memories. I have no clue. I remember Fuego Ironworks existing. I have no clue what it's like.
I only remember going there because I wanted Magmar to get Magmortar.
I vaguely remember it being a thing that exists. I have a general idea of on the map where it is. I don't remember anything else about it.
It's an optional area. That's all you need to know. As far as the future of the franchise portion of this question, I won't pretend that I know as much about TPCI and the patterns that have formed with the most recent release since the 3DS era, but something I have observed as an improvement over the year is their constant additions to their online network. Aside from Festival Plaza and the timer issue, it seems almost every 2 generations has included something to make playing online with friends on card a lot easier, with the PSS allowing for the quick battles and trades with registered friends, and the introductions of link codes this gen. Actually, the link codes weren't that bad. I'm not upset about it.
They're fine. Like, after they added it, put it up to 8 digits, like...
Yes, it's much better.
4 digits, you had randos occasionally. 8 digits, we're doing okay.
Pretty good. Connecting with people on card has never been easier. So that, in addition to how easily accessible competitive became with to newbies myself, thinks that the franchise in terms of gameplay is moving in the right direction. However, I do agree that the remake should stop with this. That's so true. Unless Black, White, and 2 is released as DLC to a Black and White remake, which I don't foresee happening, I can't see them continuing with the remake gimmick from this point forward, but I've rambled on long enough. Wish you well, and enjoy your vacation, Thatch. Your Squire, the Purple Knight. It will be a good vacation. By the time you're listening to this, I am sitting on an island drinking a glass of rosé. That is all you need to know.
I'd prefer they go the emulation route for like bringing back old games, but whatever.
I really think that's the direction they should go. They seem to have fixed like the dual screen issue already with Diamond and Pearl, and so they just have to fix the dual screen issue.
I'm not sure what they did with the Poketch is a fix of the issue, but
it's a thing. It's all that matters.
Good news is like Gen 5 barely cared about that. Like,
yes, Gen 5 didn't care at all.
Gen 5 second screen was the Wycom. Like they already fixed that.
They fixed it.
Gen 5 doesn't matter.
Gen 6 I think did something similar. Like it's just the PSS.
It's the PSS in Gen 6.
Yeah.
PSS was cool, though.
And then Gen 7's just the Rotom decks, so you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I think all you have to do is make those button presses, and then you're fine. Pokemon games have so many extra buttons.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ilka making $60 games is probably more profitable on their end, so...
Yes, this is true.
I don't see remakes ending, but I could see the next one being Gen 2. Hopefully not Let's Go.
I can see that.
Give me the 5. I've waited this long for Snivy. You can give me 5 next, damn it.
We need Snivy back.
Yeah, I'm like, it's ridiculous.
I can't believe they didn't add in more starters to Sword and Shield. Like, I can't believe that. It is so hard.
Missing the starters is the most strange thing to me.
Yeah, right? Could you imagine if they announced, like, Gen 2 remakes instead on Pokemon Day 2022?
Let's go, Johto.
Fine, let's go, Johto. Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thank you for that, Purple Knight. We really appreciate it. Green Taurus badge. Do we want to give it to anybody?
Yeah, give it to Sly. Piplup's awesome.
Sly. Yay, you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, done. All right. So on that note, if you want to email us next week, what do we talk about today? Tell us something that you think BDSP needs to have in the next game. Email us at puclpodcast@gmail.com, and we will take a listen to that. And then on that note, if you want to keep up with us throughout the week, make sure you check out pucldiscord.com. Thatch will probably still be there, even though he's on vacation. You can also go ahead and follow us on social media over at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr. You can also go ahead and follow us on YouTube over at youtube.com/puclpodcast. We still post things over there occasionally.
Check out like TCGcast over there. There's visuals on those.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Come leave likes, too. It'll help our discoverability.
Yes.
Even if you don't watch the podcast there, just come leave a like.
It'll help us grow.
It'll boost the algorithm for us.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah.
You know.
Also, come over to Twitch, twitch.tv/the PUCL Podcast, where I try to stream twice a week. Not next week, but I do try to stream twice a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays. and then occasionally randomly on other days. But if you keep up with us on the other platforms, you can find out when we do that. Also, come to the Discord because we're going to be doing. I think we're going to be doing the Dada Sarud and the Shiny Celebi stuff once I get back from vacation. And if you're a patron in November, I think that's when we're going to be doing the Shiny Zacian and Shiny Zamazenta giveaways as well. So definitely keep an eye out for all of that. Speaking of Patreon, if you want to support the show monetarily, a great way to do so is over at patreon.com/PuclPodcast. We give away Pokemon. We have an extra podcast over there. You can also go ahead and just support the show if you like us. Get access to an exclusive chat. Get access to BreederBot. It's a really good time. We really appreciate any support we get over there. In addition to that, if we hit $850 a month over there, we are going to give away physical Green Tauros badges to everybody at the $10 tier. So if you haven't already, make sure you do it. If we hit $800 before that, I think the patrons get to sponsor like a community-wide giveaway for like a week or something like that. So as soon as we do that, we'll schedule it and get it ready. The patrons can vote on the Pokemon and suggest them for the rest of the community. So on that note, I think that's everything that I usually talk about. Don't support Patreon if you can't. We appreciate you just listening to the show. But that's everything. I have been Trainer Thatch.
I'm Spooky Sublime.
And I've been R.Sigma.
And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.
Time in Lavender Town. Time to say our goodbye.